In the very center of the city, there was a station. Peter would sit on the bench at the station every day. He would always leave a spot beside him, as if he were waiting for someone. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew by. Peter's hat was lifted by the wind. His thoughts flew back 60 years. Back then, he was still a young man, who almost missed his date because he was late. But the woman was not angry. Instead, she took out a hat and gave it to Peter. In the days that followed, the woman always sat on the right side of the bench, because that way she could greet Peter as quickly as possible. Finally, Peter was no longer shy. He pulled out a ring and slipped it onto the woman's hand. From that day on, they became a family together. But happy days did not last long. Peter was drafted to the front line, forced to part with his wife. On the day of their separation, they embraced deeply at the station. At that time, his wife was already pregnant. In the days that followed, his wife often came to the station to wait for Peter's return. At last, their child was born. But even as the child grew up, Peter still had not returned. 3 years later, a bus pulled into the station. Peter came back. At the moment they saw each other, Peter dropped the luggage in his hand and held his wife tightly. Their family was finally reunited. But now, the old Peter watched all of this from the side. Yet he could not feel happy, because not long after their reunion, his wife fell seriously ill. Peter held her hand and brought her to the station to wait for the bus called Death. His wife boarded the bus alone. Until the very last moment, she still gazed at Peter with reluctance. She knew she would never come back again. After that, Peter turned around and merged with the version of himself on the bench. When Peter woke again, he had returned to reality. But the next second, he noticed that his watch had stopped. When he removed his hat, he finally realized that he himself had already left the world. At that moment, a bus arrived. Peter saw his wife. They embraced once more. In truth, life will always reach its end. Perhaps those who leave earlier are simply the ones who boarded the bus first. And when the day comes that we grow old, they will ride the last bus to come and meet us.